Hey, good evening, good night, good morning, good people out there. You are talking to John Skywalker right now, lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, lover of life, student of psychology, personal trainer, and father who has three albums out right now, three hip hop albums, Light Benders,
Martial
Higher
artist,
Dimensions, and
lover of life,
Dimensions.
student of psychology, personal trainer, and
Feedback. uh, yeah, three albums, hip hop albums available on all streaming platforms. Go cop that right now. You guys are on things that people don't want to talk about currently. And I'm joined by my co-host King Newborn. Let him know what's up, bruh.
This King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at King New. I'm sorry, at Newborn Everything. And as always, I am. And first and foremost, thank you for that, John. I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to God level things that people don't want to talk about. What we got today, John? What we got, bro?
All right, let me tag somebody up in here real quick.
Do we have anybody this week? We doing a promo?
Yeah, she didn't come through. She did not come
Okay,
through.
okay, okay.
All right. Before I get started, I'm gonna go ahead and post the number. It is 229-921-1458. Tonight's topic is Black men's mental health, but really we're capturing men's mental health. So don't be put off, guys. If you see the title, you're welcome. All men are welcome in. We are talking about Black men's mental health, but we're also talking about men's mental health, and we're going to cover a variety of mental illnesses. We started off last week with PTSD. All right, and just a disclaimer: we are not counselors, we're not therapists, we're not mental health professionals. We are not mental health professionals. We are just sparking the dialogue. We want to share our experiences as men. We want to share our strategies in overcoming mental health symptoms. And yeah, we're trying to also establish, just some understanding as to the struggles that men go through on a day to day basis and how do we deal with them. You know, women are definitely in the lead in terms of self care, but we want to talk about why it's been taking us a good while for us to get to this space to where we can actually heal. There's been an outcry for it for the longest. Men need to heal. Men need to do something. Y'all all got problems, and yet we don't take care of ourselves. And there's been a concerted effort within the past decade to raise awareness for mental health, and men are starting to take a hold of it. And it's a very beautiful thing. And of course, it's going to trickle down into the next generation. So, this is in honor of all men, past, present, and future, as it relates to us healing as a whole, so that we could become better humans in the future, being humans, especially as it relates to our parenting, as it relates to being pillars in our community. Right. So I'm gonna pick up where we left off last time. Again, guys, the number is 229-921-1458. I will have it posted in my chat. We'll be reiterating that throughout. So last week we talked about PTSD, and it was quite surprising that me and Newborn here both have PTSD. Um, I see you, Dre. I see you, bro. What's up? What's up? Um, in fact, just recapping too, I didn't even go through all the diagnostic criteria for PTSD. So there's the stressor, which is the oh, hold on, we already got a caller. We already got a caller.
That's what it is. Let's get it.
Yo, yo, what's up, bro? Hey, hey. Talk to me, bro. Talk to me, bro. What are your thoughts on the subject? Black men's mental health, men's mental health.
I talk about it a lot with the guys up here in Augusta. Uh, I feel like our black men mental health is just sensual, but a lot of people don't look at it the way we as black men see it. Everybody just think we should just separate however. But I think it is more important that we have that we need to address it, and that we have healthy mental, if I'm saying it right, I have great mental health, I'm saying it right. But should be able to uh, find time for ourselves to get ourselves together. Just like women want to have it, like they always about women should have that me time, all of that. But yes, but as men, we got to have the same thing. Sometimes we need to be by ourselves to sort out everything and not always let everything coming at us from left and right, especially when we come home. I couldn't remember. It was something I seen where it might have been somebody told me this over years, where their husband used to come home and they'd give them 30 minutes. It could have been something similar like that, where they gave them 30 to an hour. So he took a shower, got himself together, ate, but just let him kind of get his meal together before he even dealt with the family. So that way, whatever happens outside, he didn't really bring it inside because he had time to pretty much, if I say the word right, digress it, digest it and get rid of it, so that when he deal with the kids and deal with the wife or girlfriend, however, it ain't no backlash, ain't no none of that. It's just boom. So that way he won't be in that sense and everything is copacetic. So I feel like mental health is something that for black men that we need, a lot of people, especially black women, need to address. And need to look at that, not always, well, you'll be all right. No, we ain't going to be all right. Even though we quiet about it. Like me, I get quiet. I don't have time. I ain't going to argue with you. I can go to my own solitude and just be to myself, listen to my music, play my game, however. I can do that. Even though I got 2 kids and a wife, my wife still don't understand it. She don't. Just like I try to help her with her mental, but she don't understand it. So I kind of like, my job kind of let me help me in that sense because I can be in the truck by myself. I don't have to be around no one. I'm driving by myself, so it kind of worked well for me in that sense, but I still have that want to be at me time, go somewhere else where I don't have to be, where I can just digest whatever going on, and then I ain't have to take it on my kids or anything like that. That's how I look at it.
Okay. All right. So you went over your strategies. I have one question for you, and then we got another call right up behind you. I posed the question. Oh, you got one too?
Yeah, I got one too.
Okay. All right. And Newborn also has one for you as well. So earlier this week, I've been flooding my timeline with questions. So I wanted to ask you one regarding specifically to the value. Do you feel valued as a black man in your household?
With the kids, yes. With the wife, no.
Okay. How about with your family? Do you feel just over the course of your development? Let's not hyper focus on the now, but let's just say over your development, do you feel valued as a man? And do you think that perception of your value impacts your mental health? So just let's start with the first question. Do you feel like over the course of your life as a boy, as a man, heterosexual male, do you feel like you've been valued?
Over the course, no.
Okay.
As of now, I started to see it a little bit.
Okay.
Over the course, no.
Okay. And do you feel like that realization has impacted your mental health?
Yes.
Okay. Dang. Do you have any recommendations for any guys out there that might be dealing with that?
Speak up, communicate. Don't hold it in. Talk. So if communication is a key to anything. I mean, yes, you have women that say, "Oh, suck it up, this, that," but then you have women that want to hear it and want to understand it, want to say, "How could I help?" But you got to speak up. You can't hold it in. It's just like pressure in a pipe; it will burst.
All right. Right on, bro. Well, I appreciate you calling in, bro. Thank you. One more question though from Newborn.
Okay.
I just want to ask, along with the healing process, have you taken time out to change exercise and dieting.
Mm. Did you hear his question, bro?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not live because I didn't want to mess up the thing.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
Repeat the question again.
Okay. So I was asking, along with the healing process, did you
Along
take
with the
time
healing
out?
process,
Did you
did you
take
take
time
time
out
out
to change
to change
exercise and your
exercise
dieting?
and your dieting? Did you catch that, Corey?
Did I change my exercise and my diet during my
Yeah.
healing process?
Yeah.
No.
He said,
No. And that's a struggle for me. Yeah, that's a struggle for me.
uh-huh.
And I gotta work on that. The exercise is there, but
Mm-hmm.
the dieting is not.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that I struggle. I'm about to be 40, so struggling with my diet is like, how could I fix that? And it's just a work in progress now. I mean, obviously, when I ever get a chance to talk to you again, Jensen, we're gonna work on that. But my diet is a little different. Exercising, I have the time and I don't have the time. It's like I want to go to work out, but then I got the side work to go to.
Yeah. Hustle.
So it's a hustle, man. Social thing, but then when I do want to go, normally I used to just work out at least 3 times out of the week. But now I can't even get a chance to work out yet. And then hopefully that'll work back now since my kids don't got soccer no more. This season is over with, so I can probably go back and work out again. So it's a work in progress for me.
Yeah, trying to invest in yourself. Yeah, man.
Right.
I can dig that. Well, hey, bro, I appreciate you chiming in, man. Hopefully you can stay tuned. Bless up, bro.
All right, man.
All right.
Be safe.
Peace.
All right, we got a comment from Phil. He says, I learned my value as a man is mainly shown appreciation based upon what I can provide to the situation.
Fact.
Yikes.
Facts.
So you can't
Cool,
even
Phil.
be.
Hey, we appreciate that comment, and I definitely understand that. I feel like that's something that is going on, what has been going on for a long time in society. We constantly talk about what do men bring to the table, but not realizing, along with what that man brings to the table, what's your counter offer? And appreciation can go a long way. Acknowledgement can go a long way. Support can go a long way. You can't just come to the table and say, hey, these are my requirements, fulfill them, and I ain't got nothing for you. But go ahead, bro.
Yo, who we got speaking? Oh, we got Kyle right here. What up, man?
Peace, peace, peace.
Shoot, we're doing excellent here, bro. Hey, so what comments do you have regarding tonight's topics, man? Do you have a mental illness that you're struggling with? Any mental health issues that you're struggling with? What's your comment on the topic tonight?
Yes, thanks for reiterating the topic. Because I wasn't exactly sure what we were connecting about this evening.
Mm-hmm.
So mental illness that I'm struggling with, not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. I previously suffered depression, and I am manic bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a very, very long time to seek out not only psychotherapy in relation to having a therapist that I could speak with and had an unbiased opinion in relation to some of the things that I had going on, but also to seek psychiatric. Right, I think often in the Black community specifically, there isn't as much understanding and really the separation and delineation, right, of the two things. So you have psychotherapy, CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
Sometimes also known, if you've studied psychiatry, as like harm reduction and or 12 steps in relation to dealing with addictions, right? And then you have psychiatrists. Psychiatrists deal with the mental discrepancies that you may have from a chemical perspective.
Yes.
So I've suffered from depression before, which psychotherapy, dealing with your previous traumas, especially when they have manifest, which quite honestly, they all have manifested from childhood traumas and or traumas that we went through in relationships that we were growing up. And then you have what I mentioned to you before, me myself, I can be, I can communicate my own experience of being manic bipolar. I'm not going to get into the granularity of the delineations of bipolar nature. And if anybody wants to communicate about those specific things, totally open to do that. But just understanding and seeking the research in relation to the difference of both, and then really attacking both. In relation to trying to manifest positive results, I think often, especially in our community, it's like how do we deal with it, right? So it's not dealing with it. You have to attack it. So it's like, okay, like I'm recognizing that my relationships aren't working out the way I want them to work out, right? So taking a proactive stance in relation to both of those things, which has been taboo, and quite honestly, I really honestly think it's still taboo. I think in our community, especially the black community, it's almost weaponized, right? Oh, you need to seek therapy. That's not a really positive perspective to communicate to someone. Especially when you're like, when you're communicating, specific traumas from previous relationships, or communicating about childhood traumas. Often in our communities, maybe you need therapy. And that's really a very difficult way to communicate to someone and expect them to really to attack it, like I mentioned. But at the same time, I've had to disassociate myself from outside opinions and really focus on the results that I wanted as a man in relation to trying to manifest positive relationships. I am a heterosexual man. So trying to manifest positive relationships with the opposite sex that are females, specifically my desires for an African American, not necessarily African American, but African originated woman, someone of African descent. So I think one of the things that can positively benefit the men, because I can only speak from men's perspective, a level of authority, if that makes sense, is that you sometimes need to disassociate yourself with the opposite sex's analysis of your mental state. And you need to be self-aware and say, hey, what's the fucking common denominator? Right? Oh, I've dealt with this woman. I've dealt with that woman. Oh, she was crazy. This was that. She was too dependent. Just that, whatever. But at the end of the day, bro, like, you are the common denominator.
Yes.
So relationships are consistently and always reflective.
Woo! Woo! Bro, that was a bar. That was a bar. Oh, man.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah.
Attract who we are. We attract the lack of who we are. So I have, I've from a psychiatric perspective, I am manic bipolar. I take medicine every single day to manage my mood swings. Quite honestly, I often take things that aren't that big of a deal, and my mind just like, this is the biggest thing in the world. It's a mood regulator, specifically, to be completely transparent and frank, and I think it's important for our community. I take Lamotrigine. Lamotrigine is a mood stabilizer. It's often used for folks that have epileptic seizures, but it's also a really good medicine for mood stabilization. I take that every single day. But on the other side of things, in relation to psychotherapy, I have consistently represented behavior of codependency, where it's like, oh well, this person's treating me a certain way. Maybe if I love them more, maybe if I love them even more than that, they'll recognize my value. Right? So you combine that with being manic bipolar, where small things may trigger you to and think about things that are way more over the top than they should be. And, you're dealing with codependency, and typically codependent people, they will attract narcissists and people that will take advantage of that codependency. So what really happened with me, and again, I can only speak to my own experience. I see those other experiences manifesting in other Black men specifically. But again, mental health in our community is still very much taboo. But what I've noticed for me that has been a significant benefit to my life is disassociating myself from the opinions of others, whether they're men or women within our community, and going and seeking professional help. And sometimes that professional help, sometimes you need to garner other opinions. Like specifically when it comes to my psychiatric help, I went to, I'm gonna be honest. I went to 3 black psychiatrists, and they all wanted to put me on lithium.
Oh.
All 3 of them. I wanted a second opinion. I need another opinion. And then I went to
a
Caucasian psychiatrist, and he explained to me, like, hey, you're a highly functioning person, and CEOs, and we're talking about the white community, right? CEOs, directors, folks that are significantly movers and shakers in our industry, in industry, and I run talent strategy for a global technology company. I work 90 to 120 hours a week, highly performative, but at the same time, he was the only one that kind of communicated to me, like, we don't want to take that away from you, because part of your being manic is what's making you successful.
Yes.
So we kind of want to put blinders on, and he put me on medication that allowed me to do that, versus the lithium that the black psychiatrists wanted to put me on, which was going to completely dull every sense that I had, make me really non-ambitious, all the things that some of those manic tendencies make me, like, I'll work till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't have the same sleep schedule as everyone else. So I'll take sometimes I'll adopt the French ideology when it comes to work. Like French, they wake up a little bit later. They'll work really long. They'll wake up a little bit later and they have afternoon naps. A lot of French businesses, I recruit globally. So a lot of French businesses will close from 2 o'clock CET or Central European time till 4. So they'll close for 2 hours. People get to take naps, eat bigger lunches, whatever the case may be. And I've had to adopt that in my own life now. Granted, I am blessed to work from home, set my own schedule and all those things. But at the same time, what I've noticed with American psychiatry, specifically that our folks, black people, are they're afraid to make the wrong diagnosis. And white psychiatrists are not. They will tell you straight up, like, hey, we're gonna try this. Tell me how you feel in 2 weeks. If not, we'll come back and we'll change the shit.
Yeah, so it's methodological. Yeah, there's a method. Yeah.
You go to a black psychiatrist and they're like, we're gonna give you the strongest shit ever. But we're gonna give you lithium, bro. Like, lithium's gonna just destroy every ambition aspect of your whole life. It's gonna make you a damn vegetable. I mean, nothing's going to affect you. Lithium is used for folks that have a combination of OCD, ACD, and lithium is used for people that have schizophrenia. So again, to go back and without getting too granular, the biggest thing for me was separating the difference between psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, 12 steps of dealing with addiction, and then dealing with the difference of psychotherapy, where there are medicinal things, medical things wrong with your mental state, hormonal release in relation to your everyday life, and then combining those and then becoming stable in relation to the combination of those two things.
All right, so I have a question from King Newborn here. He said, what's your diet like?
My diet has always been excellent. I have been I've been a bodybuilder. I've competed as a bodybuilder. I've placed twice with natural bodybuilding. I have taken anabolic steroids before. I've been a power lifter. The only reason why I stopped being a power lifter because I got into a really bad motorcycle accident in 2016. But I still lift very heavy. I still eat very healthy. So yes, I do agree that your diet is a significant driver of your mental state. However, there are things that are just wrong, right? There's things that are just wrong with you mentally, whether it be a hormonal overdose or trauma that you're not dealing with in the past. And again, the application of both of these things, whether it be cognitive behavioral therapy or psychiatric therapy in relation to the medicinal aspects of your mental unwellness, so to speak, attacking both of these things will allow you to recognize what is actually there. But do I believe that diet has a significant effect on that? Absolutely. But I think in our community specifically, it's given too much importance.
All right, now I have a question for you. This is probably a two-part question. What was the catalyst that awakened you to your mental health that made it more important?
A relationship that I thought was going to be the last relationship that I was ever in, and it never worked. It was 4 years of being in a relationship, in and out, 4 years, and every single time the same exact thing happened.
Wow.
And eventually
he
I said,
acknowledged he was the common denominator.
What's wrong with me?
Wow.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. He acknowledged he was the common denominator.
Why am I continuing to attract this person? Why am I letting this person in over and over? And the same way I'm getting hurt is the same exact thing.
Wow, man. The level of transparency.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I appreciate that, Carl. Yeah, because
and before that, I was married for 2 years. Mm-hmm. I honestly believe that I got married way too young, and the catalyst for me getting married was me getting my ex-wife pregnant. So that's another conversation. But again, the catalyst was a 4-year relationship that I kept going in and out of. She left for the same reasons for every 4 years and came back every single time. And this year, when she tried to come back, I was finally in a mental state where I wasn't degrading her, and I just communicated like, this isn't it. This is just not it. I love you as I will always, but at the same time, this isn't it for me. Mm-hmm. And I wish you the best.
Wow. So you have that value of personal accountability. It was kind of already predisposed in you. Am I accurate there?
Predisposed to some degree.
Okay.
So I'd say, going back into my childhood, one of the things that my father always communicated to me, and I'm sure that anyone on the call will relate in some capacity. My father always said to me, African American father, he said, don't ever let anybody, either black or white, tell you that the color of your skin is the reason why you can't get ahead in life.
Dang.
And I think that's true. But at the same time, it's not true. Mm-hmm. But I think it's important for you to communicate to your children those things, mm-hmm. and let your children figure out the blockages or the blockers that manifest within societal structures as they're growing, mm-hmm. and then give them perspective in relation to the things that they accomplish or they're trying to accomplish as they're growing, right? So no kid is going to say at 25 years old, when he's trying to become partner at a law firm, no kid is going to say, hey, my dad never told me that becoming partner at this white ass law firm is a manifestation of racism, right? You're like, my dad never told me that. Well, your dad should have told you, like, hey, don't let anybody affect you in that way. But then when those situations arise, it's like, hey, let me look at the landscape. What are the other partners of the firm? Oh, his name is Howard this and John that and whatever. And it's just like, hey, Kyle, like, there may be an application of racism here. I'm not saying that's what it is, but maybe it is. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the results that you manifest as a potential partner. How many billing hours do you have as an attorney? How many new clients have you brought in as an attorney? And if it's comparable to the partners, then hey, check this out, man. You might not be the image that they want to manifest, but I think in our community often another aspect of implemented trauma is putting in our children's minds that they're always going to have to over-accomplish things, or they'll never get anywhere because of the color of their skin. And so automatically our children get into spaces where they're like, well, they become combative. And like, why? Like, why? Like, you've never even fucking experienced racism in your fucking life, ever. Ever. You've never experienced that. Like, I get that we have, but sometimes we haven't. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we fall back on, it must be because they're racist. And like what that does, in my opinion, being in corporate America since I was 21, earning six-figure income since I was 20. What it's shown me, especially with other Black folks that are in the same spaces, a lot of times our parents are implementing these ceilings, and they're not glass ceilings. They're not something you can see through. They're these career-associated ceilings that haven't even manifested in our lives yet. And that causes additional trauma, right? So I'll give you another specific example.
By the way, Hosea Oliver says he disagrees with that point right there. We'll bring him on afterwards, so that he can explain. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but all I'll say is, at 21 years old, I was national sales director for a large technology corporation. And I had 6 direct reports. I was a national sales director, and all of my sales managers were regional. Every single person that I managed was at least 6 years older than me, and I didn't have the communication from my father in relation to why I need to be careful with my seed. I never got that communication from my father. I called him out, after therapy and after, going down the path of forgiveness. And I asked him, why didn't you never tell me, like, hey, man, like, if you're going out here fucking, like, that shit could be something. Like, something can really affect your life significantly. And so the reason I got married at 23 years old is because I got my ex-wife pregnant. I got my ex-wife pregnant. Now, that's what it was. And so I'll never say that my actions haven't manifested some of the ceilings, but again, the benefit of what my father did implant into me was don't ever let anybody of any other race, Black people included, tell you that the reason why you can't get somewhere or something that you'll experience later on is because they're Black. So like, well, let the kid get there first. Let them get there first, and then implement your wisdom, knowledge, and information once they're dealing with an issue. But if you have a child that's always expecting negative outcomes in relation to situations that they've never experienced, you're going to hinder that child from moving forward. And I've seen it in our community so many times. I've seen people that haven't done a lick of what I've done communicate at a $30,000 level. Oh, it's because of white people. It's like, what's your degree, bro? Well, I've got an associate's degree in communication. Well, communication is a fucking garbage degree. So what did you expect from that? What did you want to be? I don't know. I wanted to be a media correspondent. How much do media correspondents make? I don't know. Well, you should figure that out. Well, top media correspondents in our realm make the top $80,000. Is that what you wanted to make? I mean, that'd be nice, but you're making $30,000. Well, how many jobs do you apply for? And I don't want to get too overbearing and too granular with it, but it's like, don't give your children those mental blocks before they even get to those situations. And then coach them once they do get there.
Okay, that's a fair one. One more thing I want to ask you. So you've mentioned before that with Black people, mental health is already stigmatized, and we're kind of emerging out of that. We're trying to break through that, right? But men specifically, we are least likely to go seek help, and of course, there are barriers to treatment for us. But what advice or what approach would you take, or even what approach do you think would be viable for Black men to respond and actually go to therapy? Do you think that there's a unique way that needs to be communicated to us in order for us to go to therapy? And does it have to be individual therapy, or do you think group therapy would be more productive, more alluring?
I don't think group therapy would be productive because we're all special snowflakes.
Okay.
Some of us specifically have some of us have gone through traumas where our father wasn't there. Some of us have gone through traumas where our father was there but absent. That's my experience.
Okay.
Right? I've often said, and I'll touch on this, but I won't stay there. I've often said, I wish my father was an absent father. Because at least I wouldn't have the expectation of my father doing things I saw other successful men doing. Right? So there's that. Some of us have abusive parents. Some of us have an abusive mother. Some of us have an abusive father. Some of us, especially Black women, have a father that was abusive to their mother, but would treated them like a princess. There's so many concepts of abuse and trauma as a child. So no, group therapy, screw that. You need to talk to somebody by yourself to get through all of those things by yourself. And then I'd say in our community, group therapy needs to manifest when you're trying to build a community. It doesn't need to necessarily happen when you're trying to marry someone. This is like, hey, if you get your wolf pack together, 3 or 4 gentlemen that are specifically focused on a specific thing, we all have computer engineering degrees, we see this application, we want to build it, all of us are going to be involved, y'all all should go to group therapy together.
Okay.
Because it's just like, you figure out, like, okay, this is what you got, this is what you got going, this is what you got going on. If you experience any potential of someone not communicating to you in a consistent cadence, you're gonna be triggered, right? So it's just like, no, bro, like, we didn't have anything to do. There was no action items for a week and a half. That's why we didn't talk. And you thought you took that crazy. The reason why you took that crazy is because anytime your dad or your mom didn't communicate with you in a week, you knew there was gonna be some bullshit on the other end. So I'd say when you're trying to get something together with a group of people, group therapy, or when it comes to marriage, I wouldn't say don't even entertain marrying somebody if you haven't been in therapy with them. And just a therapeutic session. Like, you can go through the marriage thing, that's cool, but you know, me specifically, so it's like, if I'm in a relationship with a woman for 3 months, you know, I ask her, like, hey, would you be okay to go into therapy and just kind of figure it out from a third party perspective, where some of the things that we're thinking about are not lining up, or some of the potential pitfalls in the future in relation to our personality and previous traumas. And what may often happen is, because I just went through therapy with a woman I was dating for literally 3 months, and our therapist recommended that she and I both go through separate therapy. But she was being very, she was applying some love, because I believe in white psychiatrists, but I do believe in Black therapists.
Okay.
So white psychiatrists, because they ain't got shit to prove. They give you some medicine, shit don't work, they'll change it.
Okay.
You know, to try this shit. But Black therapists, they know our culture.
Yes.
White therapists don't know our culture.
Okay.
And so I think we've got another maybe 10 years of Black psychiatry. And look, I can't blanket this, because I'm sure there's Black psychiatrists that aren't going for gusto every single time they get a new client, right? That was my experience. My experience was, these white therapists, they have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go to a Black therapist, but these Black psychiatrists, they're just trying to diagnose me with the craziest shit that I can manifest. So it's just like, you know, that's been the experience for me. But to answer your question more directly, hey man, like, no, I don't agree with group therapy at first. I think you should go by yourself. I think you should experience what your potential traumas are by yourself, and then work on them by yourself, because you're not going to come out on the other side. You're not going to leave no therapy session and be like, oh, I'm good to go. Like, no, bro, there's work to do. There's work to do. Therapy does not change your triggers. It just makes you aware of them.
Hey, there we go. Yeah.
It doesn't change it, bro. It doesn't change it.
Right, and they give you coping mechanisms to deal with them, right?
Yeah, you're still triggered.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you recognize, for me, I'm manic and codependent. So it's just like, I get into these over communicative things. Where's this going? And I'm a Scorpio, so it's just like, I need to have control.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, but now I know that. So I'm like, I fall back. It's just like, okay, I'm still triggered, but at the same time, I know I'm triggered. I know this is me. That's not going to change, man. It's not going to change. But it allows you to communicate more succinctly with your partner or your business partners, so that they realize that, hey, look, Kyle's getting triggered. So let me like, that's Kyle. He gives positive input in every other aspect. We can tell that this this is not working for him. Let's just leave him alone right now. And it's important to communicate to business partners, especially coming from an African American background where we triggered by so fucking much.
Okay, bro. All right. Well, hey, we had some other callers that wanted to bring up. Hey, bro, you were on point. God Level, who is basically the host of this show, we're just the co-host. God Level said salute to you, bro. Like, yo, you was dropping bars throughout the whole thing. Really appreciate and love you for coming up, bro, and staying engaged throughout the week, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I really appreciate you guys, you John specifically, for having the platform. I think it's important, especially in the city that you're in. I haven't seen these kinds of conversations manifest very often, so I salute you, brother, and kind of being the catalyst as it relates to why I joined this conversation, and I've got an affinity for you in multiple capacities.
Yeah.
Whether it be music or and then other aspects that I'd love to connect with you on, but any aspect of anything that I can insights to, and those insights are definitely going to come from my own experience. So, give me some, give me some leniency in relation to how I communicate them. But they all come from my experience and other experiences. Again, I speak to Black men, women across the globe. I do recognize cultural differences, so I think I'm able to give some perspective on all of those things. So, but no, I really appreciate you, John, and making the platform available. I think it's super important.
All right, bro. Rock on, man. Salute to you, all right?
Peace, peace, peace.
All right, laters.
Right.
Woo! Bro. Hosea, if you're still tuned in, bro. If you're still tuned in, would love to hear from you, bro. Love to hear from you.
You see Phil's comment as well?
Yeah, I see Phil as well, man. Oh, drop in bars. Okay, here he is right here. Hosea, mic check.
What's going on, brother?
Shoot, man, we rocking and rolling, man. How you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling great, brother.
Yeah. All right, so go ahead and give your spill, man. You can start off with your rebuttal to one of Kyle's comments.
What I want to say is he was on point. 90% of that, 97%.
Right?
I completely agree with.
Yes.
Now, I do disagree. Racism is deeper than an individual's prejudice.
Okay.
Racism starts from the structural environment around us.
Okay.
Which we mature into a lot of our mental trauma. From the noise in the neighborhood, to the air pollution, to the quality of education, to the quality of prenatal care, to the quality of our diets and our teeth.
Yes.
Racism starts there. It's not just some white dude looking at you saying, "Oh, you're black."
Okay.
So racism starts at a structural level.
Okay.
And it's a battle to get through that. Is it possible? Yes. But it's still it's not easy. It's not a matter of willpower. And then I also want to say, me as a black man, I never ever felt like my value was connected to what I bring financially.
Okay, not financially. What about in other aspects, though?
Well, I always felt, and this is personal, from the people around here, my value has always been built around my character. And I think that's how everybody's values should be. What's the word I'm looking for, John?
Okay, measured. All right, yeah, measured, assessed, appraised. Okay, evaluated.
Are you a good listener? Are you easy to talk to? Are you honest with yourself?
Okay.
So I think a lot of people struggle with this because they're an asshole. And they're expecting the world to bend to their asshole tendencies instead of looking in the mirror and saying, "Why is the world reacting to me this way?"
Okay. Accountability.
So if you meet a woman and if she only values you for your financial status, that means that you're not offering anything else.
Okay.
Are you bonding with people on a deeper level, you know? Or are you treating other people like commodities, so in return they treat you like a commodity?
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So that's one theory. That's one theory.
It's like the gentleman said, there's always a common denominator. You know, so basically, if you've been living your life and these same situations keep happening to you, it's you. You know, it's not her, it's not this, it's not that. It's the way you're approaching. Like, for example, John, I had a anger issue, right? So if people looked at me funny, if people looked at me sideways, I caught an attitude. I was ready to fight. And then I got in a fight at work. I lost my job. And then I looked in the mirror one day like, why are you fighting everybody? So I was posing this experiment on myself. No matter what people said to me, I decided to be extremely nice, opposite end. And my whole world changed because everybody around me started responding to my smile. They started responding to my easygoingness, and life became less aggressive. And so from that point, I learned that it was me causing all this drama and all this trouble. It wasn't this woman. It was the woman I was picking. It was the woman that I was attracted to that was causing me all this drama. So, you know, I would definitely recommend everybody read EQ. In fact, I think that book should be mandatory read.
EQ.
But, so we can understand how, you know, how our self-talk and how our emotions is creating this reality around us.
All right.
Because I mean, like in the world today, it's you know, we're blaming women, and it's just like, but that's not the issue. You know, there's a whole lot of other things happening.
So accountability is empowering. That's what you're saying. You're implying that accountability is empowering.
Yes. Well, awareness, accountability, understanding, empathy, all that has to be in there when you are being accountable with yourself. You know, because you have to be. I think one of my biggest issues with my mental health is I'm extremely hard on myself, and you know, and that's going to manifest. So, you know, so if you have all this self-doubt and you don't believe in yourself, now you are searching for power. And I see that in a lot of people. They feel powerless, so they try to enforce this power on everything else in their lives, on their children, their women, their work, because internally they feel powerless.
Ooh, okay.
So, you know, so everybody's reaching for power instead of reaching for understanding.
Dang.
You know, and I see that a lot.
That's different. Reaching for power instead of for understanding. I mean, but even though they're equally important, I guess. All right, so talk about that real quick. The distinction between those two, understanding and power.
Well, all right. So power means all right. So the type of power I mean is like fear. So people fear losing. They fear losing the woman. They fear losing the money. They fear losing the job. So they want to control all these things instead of finding harmony with the right things. You know, like I have a buddy, like, you know, he wants to read books on how to manipulate people and how to control this and how to control that. But when the issue is, he needs to learn how to communicate and listen and understand. And then he will gain a greater power that's not necessarily dependent upon manipulation. You know, a ease. And you know, it's hard. You know, because we've all grown up in this world where we like power. My temper came from I was a skinny kid in South Central LA. So my first defense mechanism was I had to buck up on somebody or else because I didn't want them to bully me. And that became habitual throughout my life, and it took over. You know, so yeah. So we just gotta have we gotta go easier on ourselves as man.
Okay. Now,
All this pressure.
now, is there a particular age that you think this pressure begins to, I don't know, surface or become applied? Like, is it when you become independent?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is it when you become independent as a man, when you cross over and you own your own apartment, your own car? Is that when it happens?
Insecurity started in high school when I started to get horny, and when I started to play sports. That's when so I wanted the girl, I wanted the fashion, and that's when those seeds of me not being good enough started to grow. You know, I wasn't the pretty boy. We was poor. We didn't have the money. You know, so all this pressure really, really hit me, and then I started to school. I started to smoke. I started to drink a little because I didn't want to face all these insecurities.
Negative coping. Okay.
Exactly. It was pure negative coping, and that stuff doesn't go away. Now, don't get me wrong. Military basic training helped out a little bit. It helped me prove to myself that there was things that I can do as an individual. But those seeds started in high school, man. When I wanted, it's when I first had the thought that I need to impress somebody. You know, and school does nothing with mental health at all. Nothing.
Ooh, okay.
You know, and playing on the basketball team and not being good enough, it broke my heart.
Dang. Now, I want to touch on that real quick. The coping. All right. So, when did you realize? All right. So, what was the feedback that you received from your experiences that said this is negative, and you recognize that there's a difference between positive and coping, negative coping and positive coping?
When did I realize it?
Yeah, like what kind of feedback? Like, how did you know that this was negative coping? And
I know it was negative. Well, in high school, my grades were crap. My attendance was terrible. You know, I had to take extra classes to graduate. So the reality was telling me what you're doing isn't working.
Ooh, okay.
But at that age, I don't think I looked at it like that quite yet.
Okay. So some cognitive development probably was due in order for you to, see it in a different light, in order for you to recognize that.
Well, John, I think I posted this on your post last week. I had to break completely to see it. I had to break completely to like, all right, Hosea, what are you doing to yourself? And I had to lose everything in order to really come to terms with what I was doing to myself. Like, I lost my firstborn, then I broke up with the woman that I was in love with. I was out there trying to sleep with every woman I could find. I wasn't happy. And I was trying to gather all this other stuff to distract me from my own unhappiness. And then when all that just broke down and I'm sleeping in my car, I'm like, Jose, what are you doing? Crying like a baby, I'm like, all right, now it's time to really try to, take a step to try to heal the best I can. Because I didn't have access to therapy. I had no idea how to do it, So, so I would go buy books and read and just try to do it myself the best I could.
Wow. So recognizing that you weren't given the resources in life to handle these problems, and yet you went out to go look for it.
Facts.
Yes.
Not having the tools and the resources, bro. Yes. That's a disadvantage in the race all the time.
And I thank my mother for that. She always gave me the freedom, that type of freedom, that type of mental freedom to ask questions, to be curious. She never ever, because I didn't have my dad in my life, so she never ever just stomped on that stuff, I always had the freedom to make mistakes, but also had the confidence that I could figure it out.
Oh wow, that's a jewel. All right, that's distinct right there. That's very distinct. Dang, man.
Definitely not in everybody.
Bro. yeah. Well, hey, bro, we gotta clear the line and let a few other callers come in. Yo, your contribution to this whole thing, bro, has been very instrumental, man. I appreciate you chiming in, man.
Appreciate you too, bro.
Yeah, love you too, man. Oh yeah, God level said salute, man.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
All
peace,
right.
peace,
Got a
peace to
call on
you,
the other
blood.
line.
Thanks again.
Hello, John speaking.
Bless. What else, Skywalker? This Phil.
Oh man, this is the homie Phil.
What up,
man?
Phil?
Phil Rice. Yo. King Newborn says, "What's up?" Yo, so let us have it, man. Share your thoughts, man. I see you plugged in, man.
Drop it.
So what most of you inquiring about it?
Man, shoot, you were dropping some gems here. Like your last comment, I don't think it's age specific. You more so correlated to the chapter of livelihood and understanding of the world around you. What were you responding to? I forgot which part he was.
As far as like when I was able to correspond when my coping mechanisms was beginning, or I'll say wasn't helping like I thought they were when I started realizing. I guess you could say the reaction that came from it was more me myself having to deal with it alone.
Oof. That's
when I felt like it was really time to reevaluate the situation, because as far as the world around me, there's a lot of introduction to what I could use to get past a lot of different scenarios and situations, and you got to understand a lot of people are not going to have your best interests. So I think that correlates with the mental health portion of it, as far as just healthy moving forward in life and things of that nature. Healthy coping as far as not dealing with too much trauma or having it manifest.
Okay. Dang, bro. All right. And you had another comment earlier. Hold on, let me scroll down.
Yeah. He said, I learned my value as a man is mainly shown appreciation based upon what I can provide to the situation.
All right. So I think that was his first comment, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Expound on that comment, Phil. You said earlier, your value as a man was mainly shown appreciation based upon what you could provide to the situation. Expound upon that, man.
Well, myself growing up, to be honest, I never had the whole father figure in my life. The male influence role that I did have, and it was terrible. It was my sister's father. My stepdad abused me and everything growing up. So I never really had the whole understanding of, just what it meant to be appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So I went through life doing a lot of searching, and during that search, I noticed that my value of, like you said, the applaud, the pat on the back, the support, and everything, it mainly came based upon what I was bringing to the table. It was mainly showed the appreciation based upon how much value another individual is able to receive from it. It was minimalized based upon how much joy I may receive, or fulfillment I get from it. So pretty much, I really just got it stuck in my head that it was I'm loved based upon on the condition in a nutshell. Conditional love.
Sheesh, man. That's hard, man. Yeah, it's based on conditions. And then you had another comment right here. It was a little bit further up. Your parents never informed you of how active racism is in everyday life. You had to learn the hard way. It would have brought it. You would rather had it brought to light to help you assist you with handling circumstances later on.
Right. I mean, I understand racism been around for a hot minute and everything, but I guess you could say just what my parents exposed me to the world. I look at it like a lot of fairy tale and flowers. I wasn't brought to reality of how harsh the world is, how dark and evil it can be. How it would chew you up and spit you out type of deal. So as I developed in my older age, I started experiencing things, and it wasn't that I didn't believe they existed and or that I didn't think it could happen to me. It was genuinely not the knowing of how to engage in the situation. And me being prior service, all I know is infantry, combat, deployed, everything, engage and terminate the threats. But at the same time, this is life that I'm dealing with, and I don't know how to terminate that threat. The threat that I'm receiving on a day-to-day basis and everything. And I'm thinking that it's not so much entitlement or anything of that nature, but I had no idea, especially with the racism, me growing up as a black man in society, getting into the military, joining the military. Yeah, I'm tolerated while I was in the military, but as soon as I got out of the military, that disabled veteran status means nothing to America. I'm a nigga at the end of the day. And that's where, I'm familiar with my most recent film that I had put out, The Red, White, and Melanin. It was bringing attention to Black men mental health as well as PTSD, dealing with minority soldiers primarily.
Whew. Bro, you are dropping bars. My God, man. My God.
Man.
All right, so let me ask you this in terms of coping mechanisms, right? Because you commented earlier, right? And I had a series of posts, and I've been just trying to tease out some of the information, just trying to sample from everyone. Yo, do we have mental health problems? What are we doing to solve them? Right. So I've been hearing this key element of awareness, right? And you've pretty much demonstrated in your talk so far that awareness is key, and you have an idea of how your life is supposed to go. You have an idea of how things are supposed to feel, right? So you're respecting your reality. You're saying, all right, this doesn't feel right. So what was the catalyst for you that made you say, all right, I'm gonna go seek treatment, I'm gonna go seek help? What was the catalyst for you?
I would probably say when it got to the point that, as initially I grew up and came from a very dark place and everything, and I began to be straight transparent about it. After combat, coming back, dealing with deployment, being shot and things like that, I slipped back into a dark place, and I never really dealt with the meds that they gave, the pills and everything. I call them the horse tranquilizers.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't stand what they do to me, but that was the time when I really felt like I needed to seek help because I relapsed on addiction for a brief moment. And when I say a brief moment, it was to the point that it impacted me so quickly and so powerfully that it wasn't nowhere that I wanted to stay for a long time. So I immediately had to, jump back out of it. And during that time of taking time to myself, just seeing like really breaking myself down. Like I did it once and I was like, okay, so now I'm looking at myself, what got me back to this situation to where I had to feel like I had to step back in the darkness to be able to cope with life and everything. So I understand how I dealt with life before, but every day is a new challenge. Every day is some new, some new steps. So you never know what you're going to embark upon. You never know what you're going to come in conflict with. You just never know. It's all up in the air. So I was trying to figure out what was the triggers for the more recent, as far as continuously learning myself, because you're always going to have to learn yourself. You're never going to be fully fixed. It's always a work in progress.
All right, and I got one more question for you, bro. Do you think pride and dishonesty are keeping Black men from seeking mental health treatment?
Very much so.
Ooh.
Okay. With the pride side, I more so mix the pride with the, just call it what it is, fear. Fear of being judged, fear of, how those around you is going to view you, your loved ones. Because not everybody, a lot of people, I've come in, with giving transparency of your cry for help, dealing with your mental health. You'll see a lot of people when they don't hear those cries. Like you can pretty much be saying you want help, but if your mental health isn't affecting them, their amount of assistance given 9 times out of 10 is minimal.
Ooh. All right, so it sounds like you've had some experience with the VA hospitals.
Of course.
Oh yeah. All right. So from your experience, do you feel like they give you the help?
I'm sorry. Say again.
So from your experience, do you feel like they give you the help that you need?
I'm gonna be honest. Now the other gentleman spoke on it, and it was actually that was crazy that he said that, because I'm actually looking for a Black therapist. All my therapists have been white, from my group counseling to my one-on-one, and that's one strong thing. I feel the relation isn't there as far as the understanding. Like I said, being a Black man dealing with mental health. I understand mental health is a priority for everybody, men and women, regardless of the race and things of that nature. But all I can do is speak from the experience of the help that I need, which is Black men mental health. And I don't feel that the openness that we want to give about it is received nor appreciated to the degree that we'll want to continue to push forward seeking help or continue pushing forward trying to better ourselves. A lot of us feel it's more beneficial to just tuck it away and keep it pushing because in reality, society doesn't have time to deal with Black men mental health.
Dang, man. Yeah, you tugging at the heartstrings, man. It ain't nothing but truth. It ain't nothing but truth. Any closing comments, bro? We got another caller that's gonna be pulling up.
Nah, brother. I just want to say thank y'all. Appreciate what y'all doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Blessings to everybody that's out there. If you're struggling with anything, man, the best thing I can tell you is find somebody to talk to, whether it be your dog, your friend, family member, whomever. Do not keep that bottled up because all that manifesting, that hate, and that anger, and that discomfort inside is nothing but a recipe for disaster.
Ooh, man. Bless up, bruh. Bless up, bruh. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you,
that, Phil. Hey, that's real talk, bro.
Well,
that is real talk.
Man. Y'all be blessed. I'm going to keep tuning in, though. All
right, Chief.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
Dre, I see you, bro. Hey, call in, bro. Call in. The line is open. Call in, Dre. Call in. Wow, man. Let's go to this comment from Dietrich real quick. Dietrich says, one of the main things contributing to our mental health issues is the ideal of what a man is and not our individual standards of manhood. Someone else's standards will keep you reaching. Man, actual factual.
Facts.
That's real.
Facts. Trying
Just
to live the
thinking
expectations
from a psychological.
of others.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is what a man is, and you got to live up to that ideal. You don't even have the freedom to define it for yourself.
Once again, coming to the table, you're being told this long list of all requirements. You got to try to hit everything on ahead. Oh, go ahead.
We got Dre on the line. Dre, what is
popular,
bro? Man, we feeling good. Been waiting to get you up here, man. Been waiting to get you up here. Talk about it, bro. What's the word? What's your story?
No, I like what old boy said when he was talking about the last guy when he say a lot of people that mental health, if it doesn't bother them, like the people around you, like it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I probably could say that a little better. Like what my situation is, like a lot of times I look at it like a somewhat like a sniper. Like my mental health, you know, is the sniper, right? So if they don't see it doesn't bother them.
Mm-hmm.
But as we know, when like I said, what a sniper is, if you hear the shot, it's not for you.
Ooh.
Most people that don't hear the shot, those are the people that get hit.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I've been through situations to where, I put my trust in the people, you know, and trying to give them the rundown on some of my triggers, some of the things I go through, some of the things that's going to happen that I can't control. You know, with me trying to control things is I normally stay away from people, which is not healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Isolation.
So,
yeah.
So that becomes, the isolation becomes depression. You know, me feeling like I can't be around. I can't be around people, or I have to stay in this box, man, and to keep myself safe from being hurt, you know, or even keep other people safe, as in seeing what, you know, I go through. And you know, I even used to tell, like, when I would get in relationships, I would ask them, do you know anything about PTSD? Don't let me go through something be the first time you want to be taught about PTSD. Go research it so you understand it somewhat,
And then when you see something happening, you can grab hold of what's going on. You know. Yeah, man, and like even with when he was talking about going to the VA, they talk about the black. The reason why I don't like going to the VA and talking to those people, because 9 times out of 10, the people that you talk to haven't been through what you went through.
Yeah.
So it's like a dead end conversation.
Dang.
You know?
Dang.
Yeah, man.
All right, so you're a father, right? You are a father. So how has your PTSD influenced your parenting practices?
Man, it's a lot, man. Actually, my son has saved me numerous times. You know, I don't really like speak on that. Like I've been suicidal. You know, but I have to bring myself back because I don't want to leave a burden on him.
Yeah.
Or I don't want him to, even with that burden, to have to live with somebody else and they have to explain to them, you know, my narrative, bro. You know, I don't want nobody else to tell my story to him. I want to be the one to tell my story.
That's righteous.
You know, to him. You know, so it's a challenge, bro. Every day, man, because every day is like, he don't understand triggers, bro. He don't understand, you know, some of the things. He's being a kid. You know, he don't understand the buttons he push. He don't understand when he see daddy walk off to just let him be. He don't understand that, you know, because he's a kid, bro. You know, but he's really shaped me, you know, to kind of to controlling it, to better controlling it. Not fully controlling it, but to better control it, bro.
It's a process. Yeah. And in terms of your relationship, so you mentioned something earlier. You hinted at conveying that you have a mental illness when you're dating, right? So talk about that a little bit. Is it difficult to convey to a new woman that you have a mental illness, and you know if they're gonna rock with you the long way, they gotta be prepared to deal with it. Like, is that difficult putting that out there? And if you do put it out there, is there like a time, is there like a time in which you do it? Like, is it 3 months in, 2 months in, when you first meet them, 2 weeks after you meet?
Yeah, it's, to me, I try to get it in there as soon as possible, bro. You know, because you kind of want the person to know what you go through, and if she's going to rock with you, she's going to rock with you from being on. You know, I don't want to wait 3 months and then tell her and be wasted. You know, those 3 months. You know, of someone that's not going to want to sit down and understand it. But like as far as, to me, it's like shooting craps, bro. You know, because everybody's not going to be willing to understand it. Everybody's not going to be, willing to say, they're not going to. A lot of people don't have the strength to deal with it, bro.
Yeah,
it's already enough for us to deal with.
Yep.
You know, but to kind of add that weight to someone else.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't have the strength and the patience, bro.
Yeah.
To even for understanding it, bro. You know, it's like I say, it's like shooting craps, bro. Like you don't know. You just gotta roll the dice, bro. And if they want to understand it, they'll be there, man. Like even with my, I just went through a divorce, bro. With a girl that is crazy, because me and her were high school sweethearts, bro. And she knew me, and she knew what I went through. She knew exactly everything that I went through, bro, and yet it still, it still made it impacted, the marriage. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's like shooting craps, because she knew. She and I figured she understood it. You know what I'm saying? But it was too much. It was too much for her, bro. I don't fault her. I don't.
Yeah.
It was too much, bro.
Dang.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that too, bro. All right.
The thing is, when people say they sorry to hear it, I'm not, bro, because it made me a better person.
Oh, word. Talk about it. Talk about it, man.
Because I learned more about myself during the process. It taught me that I don't need anyone. I ain't gonna say that I don't need anyone, but I do listen to that I have the strength to be there for myself. And I don't. At times I might need a shoulder to lean on, but the time that I thought I needed someone, man, I could have did that on my own, bro. I could have fixed this on my own. I could have handled this situation on my own.
Dang.
You just want somebody to kind of be there to lessen that, to lessen the load, man.
Okay. I got another question for you. So with me having my PTSD, my symptoms crept up on me very slowly. How did you recognize that you had it?
Bro, I recognized it. Okay, I got out May 2004. I recognized it July 4th, dog. I was up under the bed when it was 4th of July, bro.
Yep.
I recognized it right there. I knew it was something wrong, bro.
Dang.
I knew it was something wrong.
Sheesh. Yeah. So you've been dealing with it that long.
Yeah.
And just looking at the grant, because we're in 2022. So in terms of like your progress and dealing with it, would you say it was a slope up? Was it like a roller coaster ride? Was it up, down, up? Like what how do you think your progress in terms of coping with it?
It's been a roller coaster the whole time since 2004, bro. It was heavy. It was heavier back then. But what I did was I self-medicated, bro. Like I was smoking, drinking. I even went to ecstasy.
Same here.
I went to Miley's. I was trying to find something, bro, to get rid of that feeling. You know what I'm saying? I found myself out there. I was selling. You know what I'm saying? Doing my thing. Just trying to find a coping mechanism, bro, other than having to deal with, hanging around the wrong people, which was I had an anger problem, but it was I masked the anger problem with hanging with people that was angry, bro. So I didn't. To me, I didn't have an anger problem. Because I was around people that had those same issues, Yeah, man. It's been a ride, man.
Dang. All right. So today you're aware of your triggers. You got some pretty healthy coping mechanisms now, correct?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for any man out there that might be going through some mental health issues of their own? Like, do you have any advice to perhaps encourage them? Is there a way? Do you think there's a specific way that men need to be talked to in order to seek treatment?
What I would say is locate people that has been through what you have been through. Before you decide to go through someone else. Like I've been to the psychiatrist and all that, and it don't help. But I found that the same brothers and sisters that I went through this shit with are the best psychiatrists that in the world to me.
Okay, dang, that's righteous, bro.
Yeah, so it's best to, you just I don't do the medication. They give me all the medication. I don't take that crap, man, because I think that's like a crutch to me.
Yeah,
and I don't want to be doped up. Some people might need it, but I found that the best thing for me is not to to get into that medication.
Okay. All right. That's the word, bro. That's the word. Hey, yo, we gotta talk. All three of us, we gotta talk. Oh, by the way, King Newborn has a question for you. He says, "What is your diet like now, and do you meditate?"
I began meditating.
Okay.
Probably about. I haven't been faithful to it, but I have started meditating. But my diet has been horrible because, like I said, lately I've just like my PTSD been kind of. I don't blame it solely on that, bro. But my diet is horrible, bro. I probably gained like 50, 60 pounds, bro. Even just going through the divorce and that kind of depressed me.
Yeah.
Then what I went through after that, the situation that she left me in, so I haven't dieted at all, bro. So it's been horrible, and it probably has played a role in, because you look at yourself in the mirror, the mirror don't lie, bro. The mirror don't lie, so that probably is up.
All right, Chief. We're about to go ahead and wrap it up. Yo, I love you, bro. We love you, bro. We gonna build right after this. We gonna build right after this.
Yeah. Love y'all for it, man.
Yeah. All right, Chief. Stay blessed tonight.
All right, bro.
Peace.
Wow. Let's just take a moment to let all that energy breathe for a moment. Let's just let that. It's been back to back, hasn't it? So let's just let all of those voices, all those experiences occupy this space for a moment, y'all. Wow, man. It is very true that we are some resilient individuals, y'all.
Bro. And we ain't even talking about me and you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we went from this is how I look at it. It don't matter. I'm just saying as a melanated brother. It don't matter if you come from piss poor poverty, or you even came in the best of conditions. You understand what I'm saying? It's still systems that operate on top of systems that once it got you, it's until you seek help. Until you seek help. If you don't have the resources, you don't have the tools, or better yet, you ain't even been equipped with knowledge what you're going through. Until you hit a wall, then it's like, oh yeah, you got mental health. You got PTSD. You got personality disorder. You bipolar. You schizophrenia. Well, ain't nobody ever told me this. Ain't nobody. Why? Because ain't nobody ever experienced to the extent or be taught how to acknowledge behaviors. Learning that you the common denominator in all situations. So it can't always be the other person's
Mm-hmm.
fault. Sometimes you have to be a counterbalance what's really going on for real, and that could be hard. Like you said, if you being around people that's angry all the time, you ain't gonna but feed into the anger. You're gonna build off of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's brother say being shot. That's a traumatic man. Who
Why?
whoa, what was that? Hold on. You don't trust nothing.
Mm.
Shit.
I do want to
Uh,
identify something that's been key in all of these discussions, and it is the barriers and the resources to help ourselves. Right? We identified a lot of negative coping, a lot of self medication. That's why I relate. I relate to everything that everybody's been saying. Divorces, drugs, just to cope, dealing with
alcohol.
parenting, right? And the resources are now available. I will name one that I've been keenly paying attention to: blackmenheal.org. Blackmenheal.org. They have a program in there where you can get like 8 free sessions. Now, mind you, they have a directory for black counselors, black therapists, right? But it is for us and it's by us. Okay. So that is a safe space. So any of you men out there that are looking to be represented in therapy, blackmenheal.org. Blackmenheal.org. I know that they have Theravive. There's a few online therapy apps that are out there, but I just wanted to plug that one in there. We are currently at 1 minute and 26 seconds, so we're about to go ahead and shut it down. We appreciate all the men for chiming in, sharing their experiences, sharing their perspectives, sharing their resources, sharing their feelings, being vulnerable, and let this episode be a testament that not only do we hurt too, but we also want to care for ourselves, and we can be vulnerable, and we are strong, and we are resilient, and we are working on it. We are working on it as men. We are working on it. And it's beautiful to see all these brothers come through and just say, yo, I'm still trying, I'm still conquering, I'm still thriving, I'm still trying to make it. We're gonna keep having more conversations like this. So I'm switch it over to King Newborn.
I want to say the past month, just for things that dealing with between myself and you, John, and then certain matters of the world, uh, it really does help open up certain questions you have to ask yourself. Like run from that mirror. You can't hide from that mirror. The mirror gonna tell you
Mm-hmm.
everything you need to know, and it forces internally. It forces internally, and once you take the time and look internally, hey, sometimes you might not like what you see, but you got to ask yourself: do I change it? Do I seek help, therapy? Um, Definitely self-medicating is not what it is, because I know numerous of times I used to knock off fifths,
Mm-hmm.
if not two a night, to deal with my misunderstanding, misdirection, not knowing how to manage my emotions and feelings. I didn't know how to manage my emotions and feelings, and sometimes it will alter my decisions, choices, and my executions. And that can sometimes can land you into some life altering situations. So I mean, just from King Newborn myself, uh, I even thought about actually getting therapy myself because of this, just to sit down
Mm-hmm.
with somebody and just talk to see what's what. Because I prescribe to be a better version of myself year in, year out, month in, month out, day in, day out. Because we seek for perfection. Um, we're already perfect in the eyesight of whoever you feel to be your creator. You know, and that's key. Prescribe to be perfection for oneself versus perfection for someone else. You only keep eyesight of you. You are the eye. You are the how you say it. It is in the eye of the beholder. You are the one that holds the eye of self. So know thyself. Know thyself, and it's okay to, like John said, be vulnerable. It's okay. It's okay.
Right on. All right, folks. Well, look, join us next week when we will be talking about Black women's mental health. God level will rejoin us. We will be talking about Black women's mental health for the remainder of the month. And I want to shout out a reminder to you entrepreneurs out there. If you would like to advertise your service, your organization, your products, DM one of us. You can reach me at master.johnskywalker on my Instagram, at master.john_skywalker on my Instagram. Or you could also reach me out on Facebook, John Nicholson. You can reach out to King Newborn on Facebook as such. And I just want to say one more time, thank you to everybody for joining us today and really congregating and sharing that energy. We really appreciate it. We're going to continue to push this movement forward so that we can all heal and become better human beings in the future, not just for ourselves and for the community, but also for our kids, so we can keep this thing going.
Exactly.
We're generational curse breakers. That's what we are. So we salute you guys. Y'all be safe out there. Self-care, self-care, self-care.